Swifties, we need your help. I am very concerned about an outfit because where we're going to be is probably going to be warm. It's the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we wearing? Hey guys, welcome to the official YouTube page for Calm Down with Erin and Charissa. This is where you can watch all of our ridiculous conversations and fun interviews.
Mm-hmm. We have full shows. We've got pre-games, anything and everything that you guys could want. But first, you're going to have to subscribe. Just hit subscribe right there and you're good to go.
And now you can calm down with us.
Yep. Can you tell that we're reading this off a script? We hope so. All right. We need to calm down and wrap this bad boy up. Press subscribe. Thanks for listening.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio. Hello.
What
Thanks for coming to Netflix, everybody. It was purely a joy.
Welcome to the Calm Down podcast. This is our first episode since we were lucky enough to be a part of Netflix is a Joke. For those of you that attended the Hollywood Improv and used your hard-earned money to buy a ticket, we cannot thank you enough. Erin and I, we're what are we, a week-ish removed, 10 days removed, or something like that. And we just hope you guys know how much we appreciate that. It takes time and energy and effort to go and support that. And I really hope you guys know from the bottom of my heart, I know Erin's as well, that we appreciate that. I had so much fun and I hope we get to do it again. It wasn't something that we even had planned on doing, but when the opportunity presented itself, we're like, yeah, let's do it. It'd be so fun. And now I want to keep doing it. So I know we spoke to some of you. I wish that we got to spend more time with you guys, but we got to think of some fun cities to go to because I had a blast.
We do. And yeah, we were so grateful. I think it really hit me. I walked in before you did, and we had a really fun, cool little green room upstairs where everybody came, and there were people waiting by the stairs. And as we walked up, it was like, oh my God. It was really fun. But the person that got the biggest kick out of the oh my gods and is that her was Jared Stoll
and Stephen Kendary.
And when Jarrett walked into the green room after me, he goes, wow, babe, you got some fans here. And guess what? Some of these people are Kings fans too. Well, they ended up being fans of the material that we provide on Steve and Jarrett. And I got to tell you, our two husbands loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Steve stayed up far past his bedtime only to keep saying, I got to tell you, people are big fans of the Calm Down podcast. And I have some fans. He was so excited that people these boys are so funny. These men, they're not boys, they're men, are okay, we don't always need to be talked about. We don't always need to be whatever. But
Jarrett, right before he left.
Yeah, Aaron was taking a selfie video of us in the green room area. And Jared's like, okay, babe, don't talk about me the whole time. She's like, no, I'm going to. You make good material. And he's like, fuck. But no, they were great and they were so cute. It also encompasses who they are as people, that they're so supportive. But I think it's just funny to see, because what I just had to kick Steve out of the house because he went to the gym and I record this for an hour and he has to leave and he doesn't really listen. I'm sure he doesn't go back and listen either because he's probably what is she bitching about now? But I think it's sweet of them that they were so supportive because we do a lot of different things. This is the thing Steve loves the most that I do. I could have 19 more jobs and he's big fan of the Calm Down podcast. So thanks, babe. Love you.
I totally lost my train of thought. I absolutely forgot what I was just going to say. But that I was laughing to you after we got home. Charissa, Steve, Jarrett, and I, we all got home. And then we started voice noting each other about the night, which was so stupid. We had just spent how many hours together, went to a bar together, and then started voice noting. But I said to Charissa,
3 a.m.
Yeah, I've done a Super Bowl where 100 million people have watched. And my husband wasn't as proud as he was then, at the Hollywood Improv. So it was hysterical. One thing Steve brought up, and I thought it was such a great point. And yes, we are really hoping these live shows, continue to happen. We want to make it happen. He mentioned how you and I had such a good time and he enjoyed the part where we interacted with fans, took questions. That was something we didn't really know how much we were going to do of. And I think if we continue to do this, we incorporate more of it. We do it for a living. I mean, we talk to people for a living. No kidding. We had a great time with it. But I loved that too. It was so cool.
I did. And it goes without saying, of course, you want people to listen to your podcast, or we could just pick up the phone and have a phone call every, Monday for an hour.
Right.
So we don't have this podcast without you guys listening. But I hope that you really know, for those people that we were lucky enough to meet, that it does mean the world and you guys actually listen and care. So thank you, because, there's a lot of different, and we've done this for 3 years now. And you've become a mother since we started this podcast. I'm in a healthy relationship. Like there's been like all these different things in life, and it's fun to have a group and like a little community here. So it means a lot. So thank you guys. And I hope to continue doing them. So we got, I have a flight to catch this afternoon, which I'm excited about. I'm back on the road traveling a lot, which makes me happy because I love doing the sit down interviews for NFL films. But we also are traveling and meeting up with each other back in New York on Thursday because Erin, make the announcement.
Well, hold on. Say what you're doing. I'm just as excited as your sit down interviews. And then we can say,
okay,
tell everybody who you're interviewing. I love them.
So these are some of Erin's favorites with her fandom for, and she's not shy about it. And it's no problem because she covers this team a lot. The San Francisco 49ers. So Trent Williams, her favorite offensive lineman of all time. So I'm going to go and interview him for NFL Films. And then I'm also interviewing D'Amico Ryans, who, of course, was the D coordinator for San Francisco and now the head coach of Houston, and done an unbelievable job with a rookie quarterback and turning that program around, making the playoffs last year, and just super impressive. I know the guys like Richard Sherman, who, of course, I work with, has always had such amazing things to say about D'Amico. And it also says a lot, too, about those D coordinators in San Francisco that go on to get head coaching jobs, right? You got Robert Saleh, you got D'Amico, and they're all these guys that other guys love playing for. They're a player's coach. So I haven't had a chance. What? Go.
I just thought of something. You should text John Lynch and ask him to give you a couple of things about D'Amico. He would love it.
I love
Great
it. And
defensive-minded defensive coach.
And this is what I also see. Look at my gal. She's the best. This is one thing about Erin that I hope you guys like. If I haven't expressed it, I'll say it now. She is so generous. Whether it was before we got on here, I of course don't have an outfit for the thing that we're going to do in New York, which we'll get to in a second. I cram for the exam. In the words of Jarrett Stoll, I cram for the exam. Jarrett said something yesterday which made us laugh because I am last minute on everything because I just don't. I'm like, I'll just pick up an outfit or I'll just do whatever. Anyways, Erin's very generous with her resources, with her connections, with all these kinds of things. So thank you. I will definitely take you up on that. But I'm looking forward to sitting down with both of those guys. So that's going to be fun. Then I'm going to meet you in New York, and I want you to make the announcement. What are we doing, sister, in New York together on Thursday? And we want all of you guys to watch.
Yeah, on Thursday, you guys have to check out Jimmy Fallon because Charissa and I are going to be on as guests in studio with Jimmy, which I've never done before. I know you haven't either, Charissa. We're so excited.
So excited. First of all, I've always been a huge fan of his because I just love his style. I love the way that he makes his guests feel like they're just so important. He just is so fun. And I'm really excited. I'm kind of nervous, and I don't really get nervous for things, but this is going to be like, I don't know, different for us. I can't wait. You've done these things before, though.
I know, but I've never met him. And the only reason why I feel like I know him is because a mutual friend of ours is friends with him. And so I feel like that's kind of our in. But the only time I've ever done his show was during COVID. So yes, it matters and whatever. But this is actually in studio with Jimmy Fallon. I'm praying. Charissa had said this yesterday. She wants to do a game. I want to do the golden retriever game. I want to be in that chair with all those puppies. I don't care.
Anything. He has the most fun games. And that's what I think I love. Like he gets guests of his, like, obviously like do crazy and wild things, but it's so much fun instead of just, the normal sit down. But I'm excited.
Yeah,
so
it's a real cool run about the Calm Down podcast. We did Netflix is a joke, and now we're doing Jimmy Fallon. It's really, really exciting. So that's why he's having us on, and you guys check it out. We're pumped.
Yes. So a lot of good and exciting things coming up. We also had fun this weekend, as you mentioned in our pregame. Erin and I very rarely get to spend chunks of time together just with our crazy schedules, but we actually got 48 hours together this weekend, which was so fun. I was even saying to Steve that was just so nice to like also go out on like a real date We went to the
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake concert. So
Yeah.
myself, Erin, Steve, Jarrett, and Kendra, Erin's sister, we had so much fun. I could have, he puts on the most incredible show. Like, Justin, thank you. Because we were talking about this, I hadn't been to a concert since pre-COVID. And I still can't even think of the last concert that I went to. I just know it was like years ago. So it was so fun to just get out there, and how can we not like dance to every one of his freaking songs? But I had the best time. So thank you for organizing that.
A couple things about the show that you enjoyed the most. Anything. Well,
Cry Me a
loved
River.
your line. 3 minutes, 3 songs in, you turn around, you go, I'm sweating. And we're only 3 songs in.
Dripping down the back.
Dripping.
As Steve went to put his hand on my back, I go, don't touch me, I'm sweating. But I was so excited. I can't stop moving. Every song, it was like this. And then being there with you and Kendra, who Little Miss Choreography twins. So it's hard not to dance. Meanwhile, Steve and Jared are standing behind us and being so sweet. And we're blocking their view and dancing like psychos. But I loved Cry Me a River. I loved I loved all of it. I loved it all. But
tell
the
the
second
story.
that came on,
You're in the bathroom peeing. Cry Me a River comes on.
Erin screams in the stall, hurry up! I have never peed so fast. I think pee was going down my leg, sweat down my back, pee down my leg, pants up, not even fully done yet. And I'm running back out because the beginning of, right when you hear that intro,
dun, dun, dun,
dun, dun, dun.
The boys were really cute. Justin was amazing, and he put us in this fantastic area. I love him so much. So grateful. I was actually thinking about this. I saw he's going to be in Phoenix tomorrow, and I'm going to text him because I'm like so excited. And I know he's been doing this his whole life, but I feel like ever since we went the other night, it's what you guys have been talking about. My sister and I have been talking about Jarrett, but I'm just so proud of him. He's just such an insane performer. This guy, he fucking dances his ass off. He sings his ass off. He's playing instruments. I'm so proud of him, but it was really cool how he had the stage set up, and Jarrett and Steve were in on it. They knew like when he was coming to our side of the stage. So the boys were very concerned. They were like, hey, he's got 15 minutes left up on this stage. So if you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom now, because then he's coming to the stage right in front of us and we need to be ready.
They were.
Charissa, he knew where we were. So were you kind of nervous? Like whenever he would look our way? Cause I was like, I want Justin to know. I'm like, I got this feeling
inside my mouth. I just couldn't stop. I didn't stop moving the whole time. Hence the outfit that I just threw in the bathtub when I got home. I didn't even throw it in the dirty clothes. I threw it in the bathtub because the pleather was fully drenched. No, I just think you hit it on the head. He is the ultimate performer. Like there are very few people, especially like, we grew up, and Justin's been performing since he was a kid. So think about the decades that he has done this. But when you have a guy that can do all kinds of music, like any genre, or cover another artist, even if you want to, anything, you're just like, I am mesmerized by, he can dance, he can sing, and he's the guy's even an actor. Like the guy is great. Like Social Network, do you not remember how great he was in that?
Yeah.
So he is an all-world talent, and you don't really get a lot of those, like the triple threats that can do them all, do all the things. So it was such a fun time. The last time we saw the guy was when we were golfing, and I was out of control on a golf course. Stop me if you've heard this before. But it was really fun. So
he's the best. I love him so much. Another thing about the show, which I really appreciated, and it made me feel like I was in my 20s, was just, we were lucky where he placed us. We had so much room to dance and everything like that. But there was Steve was so great. He got our content. But after we ran back from the bathroom for Cry Me a River, we did this whole routine, and it was just, I hadn't danced that way in a concert in forever. It was so much fun.
I know. Yeah. Which was a catalyst for us actually pulling the trigger. We have set a date, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to share that date yet because in case anything changes. But guess what? We have 2 announcements. We're going on Fallon, and we are finally going to a Taylor Swift concert together. And I called her and I was like, yo, we need to lock this in. And then she was like, well, I don't know if I can because of this and this. I hung up the phone. I said to Steve, I was like, well, I guess we can go without Erin. And I was like, but I don't want to go to a concert without Erin. I want to go to Taylor Swift with you. It would not be the same. So Erin texts me right back and she's like, okay, we're going to make this work. So we pulled the trigger. We cannot wait. We're going to do a whole it is going, by the way, just watch out because we have already talked about outfits. For a gal that crams for the exam and doesn't plan anything, I am getting everything organized. So the second I get on that plane, I am ready.
So the last 48 hours have been about living through this Justin experience, which was amazing. And by the way, I'll say it again. If you guys haven't seen him yet and he's coming to your cité, please go because he's insane, amazing. You'll dance your face off and sing your face off. But then that led us to, like Charissa said, all right, we're going. Even the next morning after I woke up from Justin, I was like, are we really making the effort to fly that far? Yes, we're going to Europe to see her. That's how we can swing it because we missed it. But I also said this to you as we were back at my house on Sunday watching her concert. I was like, we weren't supposed to go to the LA show. We were supposed to go to this show. So that's what's happening. But now I thought, oh God, are we really going to do it? We're really going to do it. Swifties, we need your help. I am very concerned about an outfit because where we're going to be is probably going to be warm. It's the summer, right? What are we wearing?
Let me just give you a little insight on Erin, everyone. So we're sitting at lunch, we're having a great time. And this one, all of a sudden she like goes quiet. She like starts and she's like, does the like look up thing. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what am I going to wear? Am I going to wear shorts? And I'm like, I mean, my God, the fact that you're already thinking about this. And then you're like, okay, it's going to be too hot. I'm going to do this. She's a planner. My gal over there is a planner, but I'm going to take a note from your book or whatever the expression is.
Don't cram for the exam.
Not cramming for the exam. I'm going to be ready and the whole thing. But yeah, Swifties will know all the what to wear, what not to wear. Because the second that I was in Justin and I was dancing that way, I was like, I cannot wear anything that resembles this outfit because I am going to be a goner.
No hair extensions for Taylor. I'm going au natural. Yeah. That's another thing I learned at Justin. 4 songs in, I'm like, my head is on fire. I'm sweating. This is crazy. I ended up taking out my extensions at Justin, shoving them in her purse. At one point, Chris and Steve are like, look at your phone. I was like, I can't. Why? It's in my purse and it's in all the extensions are in there. I can't. Anyways.
And at a concert, you have to have a small purse. So she was jamming those things in there. Have you washed them?
I have to wash them because I have a shoot tomorrow. So yeah. And then I got to wash them for Fallon. All the things.
So busy.
So busy. So, okay. So the outfits, I already went ahead and canceled the plans. So that's official because I was like, I can't make it, you guys. So I did that. The email is going out shortly. It's just a lot. I'm very nervous. How many friendship bracelets? I already know I'm wearing sneakers because I want to dance my face off. I'm very worried about keeping momentum up for 3 hours in that show.
So now that we have made the long overdue decision and we're going, we need the Swifties help on like what you learned from the concert, what you would do differently, what you'd wear, what you wouldn't wear, what worked for you, what didn't work. Also, we have a lot of questions on how early are we arriving? Doors open at 5, but like when does she go on? Does she go on right on time? Like we just need anyone that's been to the Eras tour to give us some intel, DM us, and then let's get involved.
Jared, very concerned about a parking pass. We got to get a parking pass.
Yeah.
What?
He goes,
why do we need a parking pass?
This is how he said it. He goes, something we're overlooking here is haven't spent enough time talking about is the parking pass, huh? I'm like, something we've overlooked and haven't spent enough time talking about. But it is. It's true. This is the Stoll Andrews residence. They're very prepared. Are you okay? Are you going to make it to the concert? I don't think you're going to
thinking about my shorts.
Oh, God.
I'm so excited. So we never do things like this.
No,
the Stoll
we don't.
Andrews house. We're crazy. Yeah.
This is very spontaneous of you too. And for the record, we're going for 48 hours.
We are 48 hours.
How about yesterday?
To which Charissa said, I don't know if I'm going to have the stamina for this. She goes, you're going to get your ass on that plane. She got her ass on that plane from Tokyo, went to a Super Bowl, then an after party, had 3 drinks in her hand.
Yeah, Erin goes, I'm going to have to get a coffee. And I'm like, what is fucking wrong with you? You were going to tell me we're going to fly halfway across the world and you're already thinking about needing a coffee? The endorphins alone on this thing, since we've been talking about going for so long, should be enough. So I don't plan on sleeping for 2 hours or for 2 days. Okay. So we have a lot of good things to look forward to. Now, I'll tell you what. After the Brady roast, for those of you guys that didn't know who Nikki Glaser was, now you do, because she was so wonderful on that. And we she now has circulated all throughout the feed of whatever. And I actually watched part of her Stern interview this morning, which was on Howard Stern, and she admitted that she was in the Taylor Swift documentary.
Yes.
And she was
I saw it.
sassy McSass to her and was being like, like kind of like mocking Taylor Swift and saying not so nice things. Then she has, not even most recently, but like a little while ago, she put out this whole post and she said how she was so sorry that she did that and it was wrong of her and she was just projecting and feeling jealous and all of these different things, which was really big of her because most people don't want to admit ever and that's embarrassing. Like, I wouldn't want to be featured in someone's documentary making fun of them. Like, it's just mean. But since then, Nikki has come out and said like she spent like $25,000 or even upwards of like even more than $25,000 on going and seeing Taylor Swift concerts. She said she was going to freeze her eggs and then decided not to because she doesn't know if she wants to have kids, which gets me, all of that preamble is what gets me to the headline. She said, here's the headline. Nikki Glaser doesn't want to have kids and she's not afraid to talk about it. So she talked about this on Stern and also on Hoda and Jenna. And she said, you see your friends wanting it so badly, genuinely wanting it. And you feel like, what's wrong with me that I don't want it? And that's what I'm struggling with more than just, well, should I? Because I'm kind of sure I don't want it. But I'm like, why don't I want this thing that everybody seems to want? Okay. Anyways, she continued and said, I feel like I can always adopt. And this headline stood out to me when we were talking about, because we always just, Ryan gives us different headlines that we might want to chat about. I have talked about this a little bit on here and obviously even said, like, I feel like I'm not getting invited to certain things because, I don't have kids or this or that. It might be a gross exaggeration, but I do definitely feel that I don't want to have kids. And it's so weird because I'm not just telling myself that to make myself feel better. Like I froze my eggs, like I could move forward in that direction. But the longer and longer I go without having a baby, and I'm 42 now, the more I'm really comfortable with my choice. Can we always change our minds? Sure. But I have this piece about me that's like, yeah, no, I'm good on not having any kids. And it's weird, like even seeing you with Mac yesterday, I'm like, I thought about this when I came home. I was like, will I miss that if I don't have it? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's not enough to make me want to move forward with that. And it's just kind of a weird position to be in because I'm like, should I feel bad? I also feel selfish. Like being a parent is the most selfless thing you can do. Think about how much your life has changed since you've had a child. Like it's not about you anymore. Your schedule's not about you anymore. Like even doing something spontaneous, like you got to make sure that he's accounted for and all these different things in your life that you never would have had to think about. And honestly, I don't have that. I can just pick up and do what I want when I want. And that makes me feel a little selfish, but I'm also like really comfortable with my choice. I hope I don't regret
I was
it.
really jealous of you. After Justin Timberlake, when Jarrett and I were both hungover, and I was like, damn it, they don't have to wake up. That sucks.
I mean, we slept until 10 o'clock. Well, we were up till 4, but yeah, I don't know. I'm really, I don't know.
I think it's cool she said it. I think it's cool you're saying it. I am to blame because I do always say, I want you to have a baby. I want you to have a baby because I see how you are with my baby. And I see how Steve is with him. But I appreciated she said it. There were times during my whole thing that I felt that way too. Is it just about trying to get this because it's been so hard and I've come this far? How could I back out now? I had those thoughts. But, I watched this interview and I love that she said I could always adopt. And Hoda, who has adopted, said, which is also great. And you can. So I thought it was cool that she said this. I do feel like there is always so much pressure on, especially in your 40s, trying to have that baby, trying to get that baby because your time is running out. And then maybe it puts all this pressure that you didn't want anyways. And you didn't even want to know. You want to have a baby, but you feel like you got to do it now because you're in your 40s. I don't know.
It's just weird because I
hard
always
to know
grew
what
up
you want down the line
around kids. Right. I mean, I always thought I would have kids. I wanted to name my kid Jalen because I love Jalen Rose. Like I always thought like, I'm going to have 4 kids. I'm going to have 3 boys and I'm going to have the last one's going to be a girl and she's going to be protected by her older brothers. And I had it all played out in my head. And then life happened and disappointment happened. And the things in my life that I've made the biggest commitment to have been my biggest sources of pain. So I'm like, why would I risk making a commitment like that? And maybe that kid hates me. And maybe that kid, ends up hurting other people. And then I feel responsible because I brought this kid into the world. Like, I don't know. So I just feel like because I can, without having a child, I can control that because so much chaos in my life has come from committing to something that's supposed to be forever. And luckily I could get out of it, but you can't get out of a kid. And so
I think you did it the right way, though. You did freeze your eggs. And I'm not peer pressuring anyone to do it, but it gives you some time. Yeah. It gives you some insurance. And that's all I think people should, unless you're like, trying to get it done and that's why you're freezing your eggs. But it does give you insurance. If you are not interested in it now, at least you can look at that option.
Yeah. Well, I just appreciate my friends having kids because then I can borrow yours and then hand them back. Okay. There's another headline on here that you and I both looked at, and I have questions about this one.
Yeah. Husband. Yep. Sorry, I was waiting for you to read it to me like a bedtime story. Husband did not tell his wife a crime was committed in their house. Ugh. A man purchased a home where a murder-suicide had occurred a few years earlier. My God. 5 years after purchasing the house, he met a woman who has now become his wife. When I took her into my home for the first time, she fell in love with it. She ended up having a casual convo with someone at the grocery store who told her about the history of the house. She then said she couldn't live in a place where something so terrible happened. He reminded her that's what she had been doing for the past year in the house. She's left the house and is arguing to sell the home. Wow.
I have a problem with my husband not telling me information like that. That's a big miss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry because I do believe in there's got to be something bigger out here and ghosts and there's something, afterlife or whatever. And so it's oh my God, I would freak out.
And murder-suicide isn't
a little different than oh, grandma passed away in here. What? I was thinking about this because I live not close, but I live in a situation where I know something happened not too far from me. And that house has since been rebuilt because of what happened. And I drive by and I'm I wonder if they have to disclose that to
They do.
Well, she should have been in that meeting about what was happening here But
she started dating him 5 years after.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. I would be so
That's the bigger conversation. All right. What else you're not telling me? What else we got?
Hello. Well, and then that's exactly where we're going to leapfrog. Oh, you didn't want to tell me? You didn't want to make me? Oh, you thought I'd be mad? Well, now I'm real fucking mad.
Yeah. Mad that I want to
double the
lot.
How long have you been cheating on me?
Yep.
Did you kill her?
Yeah.
Was it you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're the one that drove them to this.
Right. It's your fault.
Sure.
That's so gnarly. Nope. I would be real peeved
Time
about
to leave
that
the house.
Situation. Mm-hmm.
Time to leave the house. And Carissa and I discussed yesterday, once you get it in your mind you want to leave the house, then the house sucks. I'm out of here. This sucks. It's too small.
This hits way too close to home, literally.
Today, we need our trash can fixed so bad. As you saw at the pullout, it was stuck. And I just said, I'm going to rip this thing out and throw it over the balcony. My husband just started whistling and walked out the room.
Ever since I got robbed, we should play a drinking game called Every Time I Got Robbed because I mention it a lot, but it's really dramatic. And so ever since that happened, I'm just I got to get out of here. If anyone's looking to rent a house, I got a place you can rent. There wasn't a murder-suicide in here, but it might if I stay here longer. No, I'm kidding.
Did you make that call yet, by the way, that you were supposed to do today? That was on your list.
It's going to happen in the Delta Lounge.
In the car? Yeah.
Oh. Uh-huh. Sure is. But yeah, that's a no, what do they call it? Non-negotiable as far as confessing what's been going on in that house before you've been there. So anywho, but yeah, guys.
Speaking of confessions and the airport lounge, you got a story for us about getting someone's life story at the airport?
You guys know this. As I'm about to head back to the airport, when you're sitting at the airport bar, which we love an airport bar, right? I used to be get me right on that plane. Now it's all right, if I have, let's say the interviews ended early and I've got a 2-hour window, I'm good. We're going to go change our clothes. We're going to get into comfy clothes. We're going to go to the bar, post up. I don't have to race to order the food, whatever.
Call me.
I call you, get the phone calls in that you normally don't get to have. Mm-hmm. But when you sit there at that airport bar you are hearing, now you might come in late to this conversation. It might be with you, this conversation. People love to tell their whole life story at that airport bar. You know the guy where it's like, we're flying here and then he's telling you why you're flying there. And it's like, oh, this guy was going on and on about his whole life. I sat down for 5 minutes. He was having the conversation with the woman next to me and I wanted to help her out so bad. I wanted to be like, blink twice if you need help, because this poor girl was just sucked in. At this point, this guy's flight must have been delayed because he was wasted. And she couldn't have been sweeter. And she's like, oh, really? Okay. And everything was just like being very sweet and listening to this guy just pour out all of his mistakes in life. But I was like, bro, lock it up. And it just got me thinking about, if you want to like find out anything about people, just pony on up to an airport bar, because they'll tell you where they're going. They'll tell you why you're going. Like, there's always a story, because when someone's at an airport, they're doing something, whether it's work, whether it's family, and they're laying it all out on the line. Forget taxi cab confessionals, airport bar confessionals.
It could be a great show. Yeah.
And things are happening.
Stress. And what's your go-to cocktail at an airport bar? I realize it depends on the time of day. So say...
I'll cut you off. It's always a blue moon. It's always a blue moon. I can't.
Even if it's 9 a.m?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Orange. It's like, it's like a mimosa,
Always
but like the orange flavor. Always either a mimosa or a blue moon. I don't know why, because there's something, if they have that on draft, I like it, and I never finish it. It's very gluttonous. I just take like 2 sips of it. There's something about like a cold beer, which is also why Steve probably thinks that I need to be more sophisticated and have a different drink. He was really into the fact Steve wants me to drink white wine. He thinks it's
how did that end last night? Were you happy with the choices you made or no?
Here's the backstory, guys. I'm very like regimented with what I like to drink. Okay, the blue moon at the airport, couple sips, or I love a mimosa, or I'm really into a vodka cranberry if like we're going out at night. I know that's juvenile. All of those drinks for the most part, not the blue moon, but are kind of juvenile drinks.
No.
Steve, so white wine, I don't know why he thinks it's like classy, but it just looks better probably than me drinking a drink that I would have had when I was 21, like a vodka cranberry. But anyways, I think I might be into white wine now. I had the 2 glasses at your house and they were delicious. So
delish.
Maybe I'm ordering that right now in the Delta Lounge. I don't know. Things are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I love a white wine.
I'm bored with my conversation. But
okay. Well, with that, we're going to let you go so you can catch your flight and go hear somebody's life story since you're bored with your own. Thanks, guys, so much for listening. We hope you're not bored with the conversation. Fly safe. Tell my friends, Trent Williams and D'Amico Ryans, I said hi. Let's do a text chain with John Lynch.
And tune in Thursday for Fallon. And Swifties, please DM us all your tips and tricks for the Eras tour.
We don't want to cram for the exam.
No, we don't want to cram for the exam. Love you guys. Thanks again for coming. For anyone that came to the Hollywood Improv, we love you.
We appreciate you. Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.